Hello Pisces, Elsie here to do a reading for you. It is a weekly reading. Pisces, how you doing? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you, my water family, my two fishes friends. Thanks so much for clicking here. Pisces, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for the ways that you've been loving on me this year of 2025, the way you keep coming around and watching, clicking, viewing your hypes, your thumbs up, subscribing, all of that stuff never goes without my appreciation. Please know that. And I'm going to read here for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Pisces, this may resonate with you right now, but maybe it doesn't because it is a general reading, so it won't resonate for everybody. But at the end of this video, I am going to tell you how to find the private reads and how to find the extendeds if that's what you're into. Let's find out what is going on for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We're going to do a 9-card draw this week, Pisces. Tell me what's going on with Pisces. We are reading for 2026, of course, because that's the next year coming up, right? Pisces, you know that this is going to be a bang out year for you, right? Because there are some placements or planetary movements that you should go find your favorite astrologer so they can tell you what's going on. But this is going to be a much easier year than 2025. You've had a bit of a hard one. Let's find out what's going on for Pisces, please. We've got the 10 of Cups in the reverse. A bit of disillusionment. I thought it was going to go differently. Yeah, that is Piscean energy there, 10 of Cups. We do have the Tower. Yeah. I thought this was going to go differently. I feel like, Pisces, I'm speaking for you when you say I've been experiencing a tower after tower after tower. Everything is shifting and changing, and the ground underneath me keeps moving. And just when I think I get my footing, all of a sudden another tower shows up and hits me again. We've got the 10 of Cups in the reverse. I'm not that happy. I didn't have a great year. I thought it was going to go differently. I didn't think everything was going to shake down the way it did. The Ace of Swords is here. I really do feel that the Tower always shows up, and if not for lessons, it shows up as mercy, because the Tower takes us to places that we would have never gone ourselves. It pulls us out of this place of illusion, the illusion that everything was going fine, the illusion that we were on the right path or going the right way. The only time the Tower is going to show up is if you're about to do something that is not going to be good for the rest of your life. The Tower is showing up to redirect you. Also, the Tower doesn't always show up at the beginning of a cycle. Sometimes it shows up at the end of a cycle. And the reason that the Tower might show up at the end of a tough cycle is because it's removing debris or removing obstacles that otherwise may have held you back. I feel like this Ace of Swords here tells me you begin to understand that. As you come to this place, you're standing on the precipice of walking over the threshold into 2026. You look back and you're like, all right. I see why that happened the way it did. It doesn't mean you have to like it. It doesn't mean that it wasn't hellish. It wasn't a big shit show. It feels like that you thought 2025 was going to go much differently. And it was just tower after tower after shift after tower. But I think you come to a place where you finally understand why it happened the way it did. For some of you, you had loss. You had betrayal. You had hardship, I would say. Things you had to let go of that you weren't expecting to have to let go of. People, places, situations, maybe jobs. We have the Queen of Cups. I feel like you handled it like the Queen of Cups would have. You handled it with compassion, with kindness, with depth of love. You tried to handle everything by being emotionally intelligent, trying to keep everything together as best you could, and just trying to do it in a very soft and kind way. We do have the Seven of Wands here. It did make you very defensive, though. I'm going to say that for a while, there was a block to the sun. And I think it was because the Tower kept hitting you over and over again. The thing is that, you're still sitting here on the throne. And that's really amazing, like really amazing, Pisces. The last reading I did for you was in the sneak peek, and it really got me really very emotional. Because, you're sitting here on this throne, stable and sturdy in the storm. No matter what's going on around you, you're standing or sort of sitting, I would say. You're sitting solid. And no matter what went on around you, no matter what obstacles you had to jump, no matter what pain came to you, no matter what your loss was. The Tower sure did a number on you, Pisces. Tell me more. We've got the Nine of Cups. Wish fulfillment, alignment. And I know that you don't want to hear it, but the Towers showed up to bring you into alignment. Not everything that happened to you, not everything that happened to you. Some of it happened for you, but not all of it felt that way. And so maybe you lost a person, maybe you lost a friendship, maybe you lost a loved one. I'm not saying you're going to. I'm saying that this would have already happened. It feels like this is part of the Tower energy. I want to say in the future that it's about to get easier. And as I was saying, because of the planetary movements, it's about to get easier for Pisces, no matter where it shows up, sun, moon, or rising. But we do have wish fulfillment coming in. Look, we're in the nines. The nines are here, and understand that we are in the year of 9, right? We are shifting into the year of 1. So we are in the nines. Things are now, I don't think it'll get much worse from here. I mean, I know there's only a few days left of the year, but I don't feel like this pulls over into the rest of the year. I feel like you're on solid ground now. I feel like you are, this has all built you from the inside out. So the Nine of Pentacles is sturdy ground. It's solid. It's confidence. It's, I grew through it. I got through it myself. This is something you do alone. You don't have to be single, but it's something that you got through on your own. The Nine of Cups is learning to still look forward to wish fulfillment, keeping your arms open to the universe and say, look, I'm ready to receive whatever you're ready to give me, no matter what it takes. We've got the Queen of Swords. Oh boy, it really did sharpen you. It really did. She's got a sword in her hand, right? It feels like it was that 2025 for you was a time of forging you through fire. You know how they used to make swords, right? They would put them in the fire and then they'd pull them out and smash on them, bang them, put them back in the fire. It feels like that was the kind of 2025 you had here. I'm going to put down 2 cards to see what's going on under the surface, and then we're going to do a little bit of clarifying before we get to the private reads and extended stuff. We've got the Two of Pentacles. Well, I really like that, because what you don't see going on under the surface is things are coming back into balance here. And it looks like not necessarily everything is coming back into balance, but I feel like you now finally have all the balls in the air. None of them are hitting the ground. I feel like you're in some sort of a place now where you can make clear decisions, right? Clear decisions in the 3D. And the Ten of Pentacles, look, it gets so much better. It gets so much better. I feel like you go from the 2 to the 10, and I feel like it doesn't even have to be from the beginning to the end of the year. I feel like whatever you went through built you to here, built you to this person who learned how to be sovereign, who learned how to speak the truth regardless of the circumstances, the person who put up their boundaries, the person who tried to stay in balance, in emotional balance, no matter what was going on. I think 2025 was a year of teaching you lessons. Very much so. Tell me all about this Tower, please, for Pisces. Tell me all about the Tower for Pisces, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We have the Emperor. Somebody here, it looks like that you had to stay sturdy, or you had to hold it together while everything was falling to the ground. For some of you, the Tower could have fallen on the Emperor. Some of you could have lost a father. Some of you could have lost a boss. You could have lost a job. You could have been, maybe your tower crumbled, like your empire crumbled. Something you were trying to build just didn't work. We've got the Eight of Cups. And we got the Three of Swords. So I feel like you walk away from 2025 still in some heartbreak and disappointment. I want to say that you have turned into this person who learns how to keep it together under the worst possible circumstances. I'm sorry that you've gone through so much tragic stuff. It does feel like it's tragic to me. The Eight of Cups is here. I feel like you learned to turn your back on the Three of Swords so as not to look it in the eye. Otherwise, it would make you crumble. I feel like the only way that you could bear the shifting and it feels like an earthquake, the shifting of the ground underneath you, is to turn into the emperor. And the emperor is the one who's in control no matter what's going on around them. The emperor is going to stay in control. So I think that you're a person who stays in emotional control, who stays in mental control, that it feels like you're the person that when the fire alarm goes off, you're the person who is going to make sure everyone gets out of the building, where everyone else is probably freaking out and running around in circles. Tell me about the Ten of Swords, please. We've got the Fool. We've got the King of Wands. And we've got the Lovers. It feels like something has gone on here that has been a betrayal or very hurtful. It's the end of a cycle. And I mean, the end of the cycle could be the end of the year. It's the end of a very painful cycle that you've endured here. But don't forget, please, that the Ten of Swords is also about the release. That even if it's, somebody that we love very much who ended up coming to the end of their time, that when that person does come to the end of their time, then we release them and then we can begin to heal. And I think that's what I'm seeing here, that the Fool is saying it's time to carry on to the new chapter. And in that chapter, it's time to go forward and conquer the things that you want to conquer. The King of Wands is here, who is in pursuit of choice. And I feel like somebody here is pursuing choice, the choice to let go, the choice to heal, the choice to release, whatever it was that was rocking your world inside the tower. And I feel like somebody here is choosing to deal with all of this chaos in fire. So I think, the king sits on the throne because the king has been through everything that's burnt to the ground. The king is the phoenix rising. So the King of Wands is somebody who's gained wisdom through fire. So everything went wrong, everything burnt to the ground, things that came to kill him made him stronger. And so I feel like your choice is to deal with all of this as the King of Wands would. That you're ready to carry on, you're going to release, not forget, but release the pain and move forward here and let go. Let go of the pain so you can begin to heal. Tell me about the Seven of Wands. We've got the Sun. We've got the Sun. I feel like whatever was blocking the Sun moves out of the way. I feel like you decide to stand up again. Fall down 6 times, stand up 7, right? So it feels like even though the Seven of Wands is here, which is a block to the Sun, it feels like you decided that you're going to believe that the Sun was behind the clouds anyway, even though you couldn't see it, even though you couldn't feel it. I feel like when the clouds finally part, you realize you have a breakthrough. You realize that you can just jump. You can just jump the 5 wands. The 5 wands are down here, and that's indecision. You can just take a leap. You can grab the two of wands and use those to make decisions, to make plans, and you can just jump the 5 of wands. So I think that the Sun comes out and shows you that even after hardship, even after the tower, even after a loss, a heavy loss, it feels like the Sun is going to come out anyway. We've got the Hanged Man. And we've got the 7 of Pentacles, and things begin to grow again. So I feel like it's going to take some time. There's some time to wait. I feel like when the Sun comes out, you get a better perspective. Like I was saying with the Ace of Swords, because all of these cards here it's like the Sun touches the Ace of Swords, and it's a clear breakthrough. It's a clear breakthrough, a clear realization of why things had to happen the way they did. You get a perspective about growth and life's growth and how hard we have to work. Sometimes we have to wait for what we want. It does feel like somebody here is finally standing up again after falling down again. It feels like you are standing up again with a perspective of, I understand that I have to throw my seeds of intention and be very much in my intention about how I want to nurture myself back to health. So it does feel like there is perspective that comes out of all these hardships that you've been enduring, my friend. Tell me about the 9 of Pentacles. This is your your healing arc. I want to say that after you go through this most intense hardships that you've gone through in 2025, then I feel like your healing arc is here. It feels like this Nine of Pentacles is what is left after the Tower falls and the dust settles, is the Queen of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. You become stable and solid and confident, and don't screw with me. I know how to take care of myself. I know how to take care of the things around me. I've done it myself. It feels like you have this real solid confidence about you. We've got the Magician. You created it. Yeah, absolutely you did. The Six of Wands is here, and then the Eight of Swords is here. It does feel like you, for a while, were probably stuck in a loop that you couldn't get out of. But I feel like victory is yours. It feels like no matter what went on, like we see this one, this particular Six of Wands shows somebody who's in a wheelchair. That person has gone through a lot of terrible things, but they're getting a victory anyway because they've chosen it. They've chosen to come out of the dark night of the soul, because that's what the Six of Wands is about. It's about coming out of the dark night of the soul, coming out of this place of hardship and getting the victory anyway. And I feel like you create in your mind this place where you're strong enough to go the last mile. You dig really deep, you come out confident, and I feel like you come out into victory, breaking yourself out of this Eight of Swords energy. We're going to go into the extended. We're going to talk more about this delusionment here and how it is that through all of this, you were able to stay in this solid, compassionate, sharp-minded energy of a leader who is telling people what to do and keeping everything organized and keeping my thoughts organized, keeping myself in balance. This is Libra energy. And I feel like we should talk about what's coming up next, because I feel like wish fulfillment is here, because I feel like you are very resilient. And though all of these things, these terrible things were happening, I feel like in the end you end up with some sort of windfall, or possibly longevity in your health, or something good is about to show up, because first comes the balance, then everything begins to grow exponentially, and I feel like it grows really fast. Underneath the bottom of the deck is the Ten of Swords. The Nine of Swords, because the Five of Pentacles. It does feel like this is a depiction of the hardship, and I think that you suffered in silence. I want to say that you worried about things, that you felt like at times you didn't know what you were going to do with the Five of Pentacles, and you were going through this hardship and sad time, but I think you suffered in silence. We're going to find out what happens next. If you'd like to come into the extended, please look in the comment section. At the top of the comment section, you will find, if you click on it, you will find the word more. If you click on more, you will find the way to get to the membership area, where you will get 4 extendeds in a month. And that's if you watch one sign. If you watch more than one sign, of course, you'll get more extendeds than that. I do extendeds with every reading. And if you are interested in purchasing just this one outright, you can do that. There is a link there. If you are interested in a private read, I have a private read sale that is on right now, and is only on until 11:59 p.m. on December 31st. Just a few more days now. It's been on for a couple of weeks. If you take the code that is in the pinned comment, Happy Solstice 25 is what it says. So Happy Solstice, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever it is that you're celebrating, Merry everything, and get yourself 10% off a private reading. I do have a private reading that I'm offering that is a 1-year reading for the year of 2026, but that will no longer be available as of the 1st of January. So take the link to Hypsee, check out my pricing and my packages. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to go to the extended. If you'd like to be there, that's where we will be. And if you're not there, that's okay, because I'll be back, because I'm always back, Pisces. Love you guys. Thank you so much for all the ways that you've loved me this year. Happy New Year to you. Hope you had the best Christmas. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back. Take care. Bye-bye.